Scalar energy tech is finally getting patented. Here's what that means. For decades, scalar energy has been the domain of fringe science and whispered experiments. But all that's starting to change. Patents for scalar-based technologies are finally being granted, raising eyebrows and triggering debates across physics, medicine, and defense. So what exactly is scalar energy? Unlike conventional electromagnetic waves that oscillate in space and time, scalar waves are theorized to be longitudinal, meaning they don't radiate outward like ripples in a pond but instead pulse directly from point to point. Scalar fields were first proposed by Nikola Tesla in the early 20th century. He believed that these non-Hertzian waves could be used for wireless transmission of power, healing, and even communication beyond the bounds of traditional physics. Mainstream science largely dismissed the concept, citing a lack of repeatable evidence. But a growing number of researchers, particularly in the bioenergetics and alternative medicine fields, have continued exploring the phenomenon, claiming to observe strange effects that can't be explained by conventional electromagnetism. Now the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has begun approving inventions that explicitly reference scalar fields. Devices that claim to use scalar waves for anti-inflammatory treatments, rapid wound healing, and even EMF shielding are now on record. This signals a major turning point. Scalar energy is moving from theory to intellectual property. One such patent, granted in 2023, describes a device that generates scalar wave interference patterns, using opposing electromagnetic coils. The inventor claims this setup can restructure water molecules and enhance cellular communication, suggesting potential benefits for hydration, detoxification, and cellular repair. Another patent involves a wearable device that emits bioscalar pulses to synchronize the body's natural rhythms and reduce oxidative stress. If these claims are substantiated, we may be looking at the dawn of a new category of wellness technology, scalar-enhanced biohacking. But it's not just about health. Defense applications are emerging too. Scalar field propulsion and stealth technologies are being explored by private aerospace firms and defense contractors, citing the ability of scalar waves to penetrate dense materials without energy loss, ideal for communication in extreme environments. In 2021, a declassified white paper from a NATO-affiliated research group discussed non-local energy fields as a potential avenue for secure quantum communication and next-gen radar jamming. While the term scalar was never directly used, the technical descriptions bear striking resemblance. Critics argue that the science behind these patents is still unproven, and some accuse inventors of exploiting patent loopholes to stake claims on pseudoscientific concepts. But the Patent Office's job isn't to validate physics, it's to protect novel methods and applications. And that means scalar tech, real or not, now has legal standing. This wave of patent approvals is forcing a re-evaluation in both mainstream and independent scientific communities. Universities and independent labs alike are now cautiously opening scalar-based research initiatives, often funded by private health tech investors or DARPA-adjacent innovation grants. For example, a 2022 study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine tested scalar-emitting patches on subjects reporting chronic fatigue and inflammation. The results suggested statistically significant improvements in heart rate variability and subjective pain levels. While more research is needed, the study was enough to warrant a follow-up grant from a wellness tech consortium. In Russia, scalar energy research has quietly continued since the Cold War under the umbrella of torsion field theory. Scientists there claim that scalar waves interact with the spin state of particles rather than their charge, opening theoretical pathways for biological regeneration, long-range communication, and even time-based information transfer. Even in the European Union, several privately funded biotech startups are building devices that embed scalar field emitters into clothing, bed frames, or medical monitoring wearables. Their goal? Passive energy conditioning, where scalar fields work in the background to realign disrupted physiological patterns caused by electromagnetic pollution or chronic stress. In the world of quantum computing, a few bold theorists are exploring scalar fields as a medium for coherence stabilization. They argue that these fields may help extend qubit lifespans by creating interference-free zones inside processors. If validated, this would mark a revolutionary intersection of ancient fringe physics and cutting-edge quantum engineering. Popular interest in scalar energy is also surging. Influencers in the wellness, biohacking, and new age tech communities are reviewing scalar pendants, water chargers, and home harmonizers. devices that promise to shield users from harmful 5G or EMF exposure while amplifying cellular resonance. Amazon and Etsy both list hundreds of scalar-tagged devices, and a 2023 market analysis by Technavio projected the global scalar wellness market could exceed $1.2 billion by 2028. Consumer demand is growing fast, outpacing academic consensus. Meanwhile, skeptics warn that this surge of products risks diluting any genuine scalar breakthroughs by lumping them in with pseudoscientific noise. But here's the twist. The same thing happened with radio waves, X-rays, and even electricity. At first, each was dismissed as speculative nonsense, until real-world applications forced the scientific community to evolve its paradigms. Scalar energy may now be following that same path. As interest grows, the legal landscape around scalar technology is also evolving. Regulatory agencies are beginning to take a closer look at the marketing claims made by companies promoting scalar wellness products. The FDA, for instance, has issued warning letters to manufacturers who advertise scalar-based cures without clinical validation. This signals a need for clear standards and ethical frameworks to accompany the wave of innovation. Meanwhile, researchers in the field of biophysics are proposing new theoretical models to explain scalar effects using concepts from quantum field theory, torsion tensors, and subquantum kinetics. These frameworks attempt to bridge the gap between mainstream physics and the unconventional results being observed in scalar field experiments. Some physicists argue that what is being described as scalar energy may actually involve vacuum fluctuations or zero-point energy interactions. Scalar wave technologies could be tapping into the very structure of spacetime, a concept that could have profound implications not just for technology, but for our understanding of consciousness itself. In spiritual and metaphysical circles, scalar energy is often described as the energy of intention or the blueprint of life. Proponents claim it can carry information, align biofields, and even influence DNA expression. While these claims are not currently recognized by peer-reviewed science, they mirror the types of language used by early pioneers of electromagnetism. Several independent labs are now focusing on quantifying the biological impacts of scalar fields, using sophisticated metrics like EEG synchronization, photon emission, and heart-brain coherence. Early results are inconclusive but suggest that certain scalar waveforms may induce measurable changes in physiological rhythms. Across Asia, particularly in Japan and South Korea, scalar energy devices are being integrated into luxury spas and elite wellness programs. Treatments promise increased vitality, faster recovery, and emotional clarity. One of the most surprising endorsements came in 2024 when a major US-based hospital group quietly began testing scalar-infused IV fluid structuring. The research team is evaluating whether scalar-treated saline can enhance cell absorption during post-operative recovery. If proven, this could lead to a new class of energy-enhanced pharmaceuticals. As all this unfolds, venture capital is pouring into the space. Startups focused on quantum wellness have raised over $300 million in the past 18 months. Investors are betting that once clinical data catches up, the first movers in this niche will become leaders in a trillion-dollar future industry. The big question now is this: what happens when scalar energy moves from the fringes to the center of science? Will the academic world adapt its models to explain it? Or will it remain an underground force driving innovation from the outside in? Whatever the outcome, one thing is clear: scalar energy is no longer confined to conspiracy theories or late-night YouTube videos. It's entering the lab, the patent office, and the boardroom. And if the trajectory holds, it may soon be in your pocket, your home, and even your bloodstream. The age of scalar energy has begun, not as a revolution, but as a quiet resonance building beneath the surface of mainstream science. And like all paradigm shifts, it will arrive slowly, then all at once. Some of the most provocative theories surrounding scalar energy suggest that it may be capable of non-local interactions. That is, it could theoretically influence biological or electronic systems across distances without any measurable transmission medium. While this sounds like science fiction, early-stage research in entanglement and subspace resonance gives this claim a foothold. In underground innovation hubs and wellness retreats, scalar technology is being paired with modalities like pulsed electromagnetic fields, red light therapy, and sound healing. The theory is that scalar energy amplifies the coherence and resonance of these frequencies, enhancing their effects on human tissues and the energy body. Again, formal clinical trials are sparse, but the experiential testimonials are mounting. academic resistance remains strong, particularly in peer-reviewed physics and biology journals. Detractors argue that the lack of reproducibility in scalar experiments makes it unscientific. However, researchers counter that early electromagnetic studies in the 1800s faced similar criticisms, largely due to poor measurement tools at the time. Scalar energy may suffer from a similar gap between measurable reality and available instrumentation. In the private sector, a growing class of scalar technologists is emerging entrepreneurs and engineers working at the intersection of wellness, electronics, and clean energy. Some are focusing on energy field diagnostics using proprietary sensors, while others are designing AI-driven feedback systems that adjust scalar waveforms in real time based on user biometrics. This signals a deeper truth about the scalar revolution. It may not happen through a single discovery but through a convergence of tools, theories, and disciplines. The future of scalar technology might not look like a standalone breakthrough. It could look like AI-optimized wellness beds, consciousness-enhancing wearables, or quantum-tuned architectural spaces. One aerospace startup is even exploring the possibility of scalar field-based shielding for spacecraft, theorizing that such fields could modulate gravitational and inertial forces during high-speed maneuvers. Though unverified, this idea echoes classified research from the 1980s on inertia-canceling drive systems. In 2025 and beyond, look for the rise of scalar integrated homes, spaces designed to enhance human well-being through embedded energy architecture. Think walls that emit background scalar fields, beds that tune your circadian rhythms, and kitchens that enhance water and food vitality without additives. Ultimately, scalar energy may not be a single discovery, but the thread that connects several future-shaping technologies. Whether it proves to be a misunderstood facet of existing physics, or the opening chapter of a new field altogether, scalar energy is no longer in the shadows. It's being patented, marketed, and investigated in earnest. And if current trends continue, it may soon reshape how we heal, communicate, and even understand life itself.